Welcome back to KRTV Marvel. We hope you enjoyed our previous death battles, and if you did, consider subscribing for more content like this. When it comes to the DC Universe and MCU, there are a few characters who stand out as the most powerful of their universes. When it comes to the MCU, few can stand against Wanda Maximoff. The Scarlet Witch's magical abilities are simply unmatched by the other Avengers. DC's strongest hero is generally agreed to be Superman, who can take hits from just about any villain in the universe and dish them back 10 times harder. While Scarlet Witch might still be learning about herself in the MCU, she's got an incredible amount of power. That power just might be enough to take out someone as strong as Superman if the two were ever to face off in a fight against one another. The release of both WandaVision and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness seemingly cemented Scarlet Witch as one of the Marvel Cinematic Universe's most powerful beings. Now fans are wondering if she is powerful enough to take down one of the strongest beings in the DCEU. Superman is incredibly powerful and is essentially indestructible when it comes to most forms of damage. While Wanda's magic is going to be able to damage him, she's going to have to work incredibly hard to keep up and keep the hits coming. No matter who he is fighting, Superman simply starts off at a massive advantage, and a duel against the Scarlet Witch is not at all an exception. Superman blocked a supercharged axe from Steppenwolf like it was nothing in Zack Snyder's Justice League, proving that he can take on anything that comes against him. So, needless to say, Scarlet Witch will need to bring her A-game if she's going to take on DC's poster boy. It might be a bit of a cliche in Superman comics, but the Man of Steel's willpower is unmatched. Perhaps it's because of his motivation to protect Lois and his family, or maybe his determination to do the right thing for humanity. But the Man of Tomorrow never gives in. Wanda has been known to take great emotional damage from defeat, but Superman somehow always finds a way to be hopeful. There's perhaps no greater hero when it comes to willpower. The reason the events of Injustice are so shocking is because of how out of character Superman's actions really are. Of course, one of Superman's biggest assets is his raw strength. This is something that is simply impossible for most Superman's comic book villains to surpass. He hits like a freight train and can kill opponents with a single strike if he wishes to. Even in fights with Wonder Woman, such as in the animated Justice League TV show, Superman proves few can stand against him. While Wanda is powerful, she's not immune to hits from the likes of Superman. One of her best ways around his super strength is by using her abilities to control the minds of her opponents. Superman can move at speeds that Wanda simply cannot comprehend, making it hard for her to actually hit him. If she isn't able to sneak up on him successfully, he's going to be able to blitz across the battlefield and keep himself safe from any of her focused attacks. He's not Flash levels of speed, but he can get around the world with relative ease. Superman has been shown to be able to fly so fast around the Earth that he can reverse time, in the 70s movies, for instance. Of course, Superman's biggest weakness is kryptonite. While he isn't invulnerable to all forms of attacks, kryptonite is the only surefire way to kill Superman once and for all, and plenty of his enemies have taken advantage of that. However, Wanda won't have access to this. Kryptonite cannot be found in the MCU or Marvel Comics at all. She's not going to be able to bring this to the fight to help her out. Instead, she's going to have to use her own powers to win the match. Which brings us to the Hex Witch herself. While not an alien like Kal-El, she does wield magic, something that has been known to take Superman down before. So, what does that look like in the context of a fight? The Scarlet Witch's chaos magic has been used to her advantage countless times, but there's quite an easy way for her to defeat Superman without dealing damage to Earth itself. It's entirely possible that she could transform Earth's sun into a red variation. Short term, it wouldn't do anything to humanity, but would immediately depower Superman. Wanda doesn't quite have a weakness like this to take advantage of, but it's definitely within her range of power to shift the stars themselves in her favor when the time comes. If that doesn't pan out, which is very unlikely by the way, she can use her abilities to take control of his mind, showcasing again why she is one of the most powerful Avengers. While Superman might be able to somewhat resist this, he's not going to be able to totally shake her off. The rest of the Avengers weren't able to in Age of Ultron. This can give Wanda a huge leg up in the fight and could win it for her single-handedly if she is able to pull it off well enough. However, if Superman notices her doing this, he can strike back. But Wanda is never a sitting duck. In Infinity War, Wanda managed to destroy the Mind Stone that was implanted in Vision's head with one hand while holding Thanos off, who had collected every other stone with the other. This just goes to show that Wanda has a wild amount of powers and abilities that she can tap into when she needs it. Perhaps this vast amount of power would be enough to help her take out someone as strong as Superman. Scarlet Witch's most important aspect in this fight is that she has the ability to defeat Superman. He is not impervious to magic, so her hits will damage him. Superman gains his power from the sun, and this charging method gives him no more immunity to magic damage than any other human. Wanda just needs to figure out the best way to deal as much damage as possible in as little time as she can. If she gives Superman too much leeway, he will be able to bounce back and take her down with ease. This is one fight that she will need to be incredibly precise in. And with the events that took place in Doctor Strange, it's pretty clear that she can pretty much warp reality into whatever she wishes. So technically speaking, she could decipher Superman's fragility to kryptonite and just conjure up some kryptonite ray gun, or just change Earth's yellow sun to a red one. I mean, the possibilities to play with here are endless. So in a fair fight, would Wanda be able to take out the Kryptonian? A few things to note before we can come to a decision. The argument people keep bringing up is Superman could speed blitz Wanda and beat her before she can do any reality warping, such as erasing him from existence, but Superman wouldn't do that. What I don't see is the same rationale being used for Wanda. Does she typically go around willing opponents out of existence? When Wanda infamously said, "No more mutants," and then most of the mutants were gone, she did so after becoming unhinged. She was out of control. I suppose if it's this Wanda at this moment, then maybe she erases Superman. But any other, or what we would call normal Wanda, would not erase someone merely for engaging in a fight with her. She would use less drastic measures. It's also possible that she would have to be emotionally unstable to even be capable of such a thing. Wanda's powers seem tied to her emotions. Superman, on the other hand, is as emotionally stable as they come, and his powers are well known and constant. No, I don't think Superman would fly at Wanda full speed and smear her into the ground like a bug, but I don't think he'd have to. His speed allows him to avoid attacks just as much as it allows him to run a high-speed offense. It would be difficult for Scarlet Witch to keep track of where Superman is, and thus difficult for her to catch him or attack him with her powers. Meanwhile, Superman could easily take Scarlet Witch down without really hurting her. He could freeze her, he could knock her out, he might even be able to disable her power with a heat vision scalpel. There must be unusual brain activity in Wanda's head, enabling her to use and resulting from her use of her powers. Superman is ultra fast, can see through anything, and has used his heat vision in this way more than once. I have to say Superman would probably win, and I think people who say Wanda would win are selling Superman short. This is the guy who gets all the hate for being too overpowered. I like Superman, but I can see why people get annoyed with his powers. He can do pretty much anything. He even survived reality warping before. He's shown resistance to energy and matter manipulation as well. He doesn't have any special resistance to magic, but his durability still protects him from magical attacks. This confuses people, so I will try to explain in another way. If you had the magical ability to make a person fall in love with you, you could cast that spell on Superman, and it would work like it would work on any human. However, if you created, say, a magical lightning bot or a magical fire, it wouldn't hurt Superman any more than fire or lightning normally would. To sum up, both of these characters might be capable of instantly destroying the other, but neither would actually do so, in character, assuming they are both their usual selves. I say Superman would probably overwhelm Scarlet Witch. She has mental powers and he has almost every other power. His speed, strength, durability, and projectile weaponry make him so versatile, dangerous, and tough to hurt or stop that he'd be too much for Wanda. But recall that this is assuming Wanda wouldn't use her chaos magic like she did in the Multiverse of Madness, because in all likelihood, she wouldn't be the blood-crazed savage when facing Supes. For the sake of argument, assuming that she did use chaos magic, she could technically change the very fabric of existence itself, and while Superman is powerful, I don't think that he is powerful enough to handle the fallout from focused chaos magic. So in short, Wanda wins if she uses chaos magic, which she most probably won't, but Superman wins every other time. So there you are, guys. Let us know who you think would win a clash between these two. If you enjoyed it, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to KRTV Marvel for more content like this. And as always, thanks for watching.